name is Brenna Erlandson, and this is my persuasive speech. The topic that I chose for my persuasive speech is on smoking. Why is smoking bad for our health? Smoking may be legal, but that doesn't mean that it's good for us. In fact, it's just the opposite. Smoking is the only legal consumer product that kills you when you use it exactly how it's meant to be used. Cigarettes are made from tobacco. The tobacco plant is the only plant ever discovered to contain the drug called nicotine. Nicotine is a very strong poison that can kill a human in less than an hour if even a small amount is injected into the bloodstream. Tobacco smoke contains very tiny amounts of nicotine that aren't deadly but are still very bad for our health. Tobacco smoke also contains many other chemicals. In fact, it contains over 4,000 chemicals, many of which are very harmful to our bodies. All these chemicals mix together and form a sticky tar. It's the tar that gives cigarette smoke its smell and color. The tar sticks to our clothing, skin, and insides of our lungs. Tar is very dangerous inside our lungs. It sticks to the cilia in our lungs that are responsible for sweeping out germs and dirt. If the cilia are covered in tar, they can't work right, and the germs and dirt can stay in the lungs and cause diseases. The damage tar does to your cilia is only the beginning, though. The tar and smoke are made up of many chemicals that are known to cause cancer, as well as many chemicals that are just plain bad for you. A couple of these chemicals are carbon monoxide, ammonia, and nitrites. With the nicotine and tar working together, there are a lot of bad diseases linked to smoking cigarettes. Diseases like throat cancer, mouth cancer, bladder cancer, lung and heart diseases are all caused by smoking. In fact, 40,000 people die each year from these diseases caused by smoking. Each cigarette you smoke takes about 5 to 8 minutes of your life. Is it even worth it? The following people died because they smoked. Humphrey Bogart died at age 57. Jesse Owens died at age 67. Michael Landon died at age 54. Nat King Cole died at age 45. And Sammy Davis Jr. died at age 64. The most common one is Walt Disney, who died at age 65. Unfortunately, if you don't smoke, you can still get sick from tobacco smoke. If you breathe the smoke from another person's cigarette, it's as bad as if you're smoking the cigarette as yourself. This smoke is called secondhand smoke, and it kills hundreds of people each year. If your parents smoke, you have a greater chance of getting ear infections, asthma, bronchitis, and tonsillitis. Children who are exposed to smoke all their lives have underdeveloped lungs, and they are 2 to 4 times as likely to have allergic reactions and asthma than children of non-smokers. Secondhand smoke is starting to really bother non-smokers, and that's why there are many places where smoking isn't allowed than there used to be. Now you aren't allowed to smoke on a plane, in a bus, or in many buildings. Non-smokers want to breathe clean air. Cigarettes aren't just bad for our health, they are bad for the environment too. Think of the amount of paper that goes into making each cigarette. Young people smoke about 6 million cigarettes per day. That's a lot of trees that are cut down, and the paper can never be recycled. Look around outside. There are cigarette butts everywhere. Do you know that it takes more than 5 years of a cigarette to biodegrade? That means that it takes at least 5 years for the cigarette butts to break down, unless someone cleans them up. Are other forms of tobacco safe? Most people realize that smoking cigarettes is dangerous for their health, but the other forms of tobacco are just as dangerous. The death rate for pipe and cigar smokers is actually less than the death rate for cigarette smokers. but still higher than the death rate for the non-smokers. But that doesn't mean the tobacco used in cigars and pipes are safer. It's because cigar and pipe smokers don't inhale as deeply as cigarette smokers do when they smoke. If a person inhales deeply for a cigar and pipes, then they are actually more dangerous than cigarettes. Don't think that cigars and pipes are safer than cigarettes. Pipe smokers have a very high rate of lip cancer, and compared to cigarette smokers, pipe and cigar smokers have a higher chance of getting mouth cancer, throat cancer, and larynx, or the voice box cancer. The second-hand smoke from cigars is really bad. One cigar puts out as much smoke and tar into the air as 42 cigarettes. Some people think that smokeless tobacco is safer than cigarettes. Smokeless tobacco comes in two forms: chewing tobacco and snuff. Both forms are put into the mouth and sucked on. It's true that smokeless tobacco is better for your lungs, since there are no smoke to breathe in, but it is very bad for other parts of the body. Just like regular tobacco, smokeless tobacco contains nicotine, which is a very poisonous drug that speeds up your heart and increases your blood pressure. Holding an average size wad of chewing tobacco in your mouth for 30 minutes gives you as much nicotine as smoking 4 cigarettes. Besides the nicotine, smokeless tobacco contains all the bad chemicals that regular tobacco does, including the ones that cause cancer. Here are some things that smokeless tobacco can give you. You have a reduction in your ability to taste and smell. You get sustained teeth. You get bad breath. It can cause tooth decay. It can cause gum disease. It can give you bleeding gums. It can give you sores in the mouth that don't heal. You can experience dizziness. It can make you throw up. It can decrease your physical ability. And you can get mouth, lip, cheek, and tongue cancer. You can also get plate, pharynx, larynx, and esophagus cancer. You get a fast heart rate and high blood pressure, and you can also get heart disease. All forms of tobacco are dangerous. Why do people use tobacco? There are many reasons why people use tobacco. Most smokers start before they're 19, with the average starting age being 13. People start because they think it looks cool or their friends get them to try it. Many people get fooled for the advertising for cigarettes. The ads make smoking look really cool, but the truth is that smoking isn't cool. It's pretty stupid.